say peace. I'd also like to say that we have been working real hard and diligently up in Summer Square. That's not our main focus, but we have some young men that has came out of the darkness, stepping into the light.
Come on.
I want the community to know that we're not a violent group.
Right.
However, we do believe in self-defense.
That's right.
We believe in protecting and serving and giving love and hope into the black community. And that means wherever our people at, that's what we're going to be.
That's right.
Right.
The bishop made a challenge. I'm making a challenge to all men and women who wants to be part of the community, to take back their community, to feel safe and loved in their community. I invite you to contact us, because we don't need those people to come into our community, call themselves policing us and killing us. We can police and protect ourselves.
Right.
We need to get, one thing that I'm going to say is what we need to get back to is commitment. Make a commitment to one another. Not just because every time there's a rally or we're marching about some violence on us, but we need to stay consistent within our own, so when something does happen, we already know. Black men, learn the constitutional law so we can stop when the police stop us. We don't have to look dumbfounded to everything they say. This young man knew. I know something happened tragic somewhere else, and we feel, I feel, but I'm concerned about what's happening in my yard.
That's right.
Right here at home. We have brothers and sisters down there that's involved down there. We need to be involved here. Don't just look at the sister and tell her, oh, I sympathize and that. Call her. Let her know that we're still here.
Yes.
Let her know. Let her know that we are praying and we can pray with her. This is something that's real serious that needs to be dealt with in our own neighborhood. Do not be, stop being afraid. No man, no woman should live in fear.
Right.
Stop being afraid. Stop, and I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Take your time.
I'm going to go.
Take your time.
Black preachers.
Come on now. Uh-oh.
In the community. Big congregation. Love on Sunday morning. Love on Sunday morning. Pass that plate.
Come on.
What about passing some commitment to the community?
Come on.
And stop every time you get a check from downtown or one of them big people, you get a check and sell us out.
Come on now.
Come on, man. We tired. I'm tired of it. I would visit you and I would sit down and we would talk, because we need to unify. We need to have unity in the community.
Yes.
Because our people are the people who we support in the community. And without the community support, there's no us. So how's it you?
Come on.
Right.
Thank you.
How y'all doing this evening? I'm going to be brief right here. Back in 1966, Huey P. Newton said that we must determine the destinies of our own community. And we have failed to do that. The civil rights movement was good, but the civil rights movement hurt us in the sense that we focused on integration. And because we focused on integration, we failed to establish our own community.
Come on.
Right.
And this was what, over 50 years ago. And now what we must do, we must take our own community back. We must establish our own community, y'all. We are 52% of the population in Dayton. Matt Heck is a Democrat. At election time, black folks vote Democrat. We vote down the ticket. We don't care who's on the ticket. We just vote who's on the Democratic ticket. It's time for us to start paying attention to who we voting for.
Right.
Matt Heck has no power over us unless we give it to him.
Right.
The power belongs to the people.
Yes.
You understand? The people create the wealth in this country. It's time for us to stop being victims and start being empowered and take the destiny of our communities into our own hands. That's all I got to say. All power to the people.
Brother Steve will represent Brother Tyrone and the local Dayton study group for the nation.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I would like to greet you all in the greeting words of peace. In a very chaotic time, we say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu Alaikum, but in English it simply means peace be unto you. And what we have to begin to understand, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan did a lecture called Justifiable Homicide. Justifiable homicide. When we think of our brother Trevon, our brother Dante, in the eyes of the enemy, it's justifiable. The case with our brother Trevon was that he was shot, but what they don't want to tell you was that his body was in the morgue. They had the cell phone, and when they looked at the messages on the cell phone, it had Father, 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 Father. Why did it have Father in there so many times? Because he was laying in the morgue for 3 days, and they didn't even notify his parents. Justifiable homicide. Our brother was shot. Car caught on fire. They wouldn't even pull him out of the car. It was the residents that had to pull him out the car. Because what is a black life worth in America? As Brother General Truey said, what was it worth when we were brought here? And I'm here to tell you it's worth that same amount. Nothing in the eyes of the enemy. Let me give you a picture of the Bible of what's taking place today. In the book, when we read about Moses, it said Pharaoh gathered his officials together. And he said, come. He said, let us deal with them wisely, because we see them multiplying. And we are fearful that if they come together, they will join on to another army and come against us. Look at America right now at all these wars. They are fearful of you, black man and black woman. They are fearful because they know that for 400 years you have given your blood, sweat, and tears, and you have shown these people nothing but love. But in return, what have you got? Justifiable homicide.
Right.
In the Final Call newspaper, they like to, some of these so-called groups like to label the Nation of Islam as a hate group. A hate group. Here is the Nation of Islam with no history of lynching any white man. No history of beating down any white man. All we do is point out the fact that we have been under a system of hate. And we are called the haters. And what's so sad, Brother Preacher, is we love preachers like this.
Come on.
Because these preachers are real. You know, in the time of Pharaoh, there were also those called enchanters.
Yes.
In the time of Jesus, there were the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the hypocritical preachers.
Yes.
And today we got hypocritical preachers in this community. Where is their congregation?
That's right.
Do they care? Where is the love of the Lord Jesus Christ in their heart? Why aren't they here on behalf of our sister?
Come on. That's right. Come on.
Shame on them.
Shame.
We need to shame these preachers.
Come on. That's right. We do, brother.
We sick of these bootlicking Uncle Tom preachers.
Come on. Come on, Lord. Speak that far.
Now look, what the Muslims want. And then after this, I'll go ahead and sit down. Because I'm going to prove to you that Martin Luther King said that we will love the hate out of them. And they pull a bullet in his head. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to let you see. What do we want? We want freedom. We want full and complete freedom. We want justice. Equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed, class, or color. Does that sound like hate to you all?
Come on, come on.
You all know me. You all know me. Do you all ever hear me in your presence talk about white people?
Not in our
Talk
presence.
about white people?
Not in our presence, Brother Steve.
When I leave, but no, tell the truth though, I want for little white boys what I want for little black boys.
Come on, come on.
What I want,
The same thing.
the same thing. None of these black people in here, if we came to power, want to see white people enslaved. We just want justice.
That's
So
all.
we can't get any
That's all, Brother
justice.
Steve.
So it says that if we can't get along in peace, that we want separation. This is what it says right here in the back of the Final Call newspaper, which preachers, you know you should be ashamed of yourself for telling your congregation not to support your black newspaper. What's wrong with you? You're going to let, if a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right. No wonder we're in this condition.
Come on.
So let me end it with that point of love.
We love you, brother.
Because see, when you love, love is that creative force that is able to overcome all obstacles. Love is so strong that the Bible says that love is God. Is an equal sign. Love is God. If we had love, our community wouldn't look the way it does. If there was preaching love in the church every Sunday, that we congregate as a people every Sunday, we wouldn't see our community looking the way it does. So the question is, what in the hell are they preaching?
No, brother.
That's what they preaching. I'm telling you, they preaching hell. Because we in a hell of a condition as a people. We hate each other. So you can't teach love for others until you have love for yourself first. When you love yourself, then you can love others properly. When you love yourself, you don't have to demand respect out of anybody. Just your very presence will demand respect. This brother's respected because he got much love. Brother Cox, I mean, they ain't respected by the enemy, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So with that, sister, you know that on behalf of Brother Tyrone, who is the local coordinator for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, you know we have your back. You know we have your back. We are down and we're committed. This is not a plaything for us. And so with that, I want to leave you all as I came before you. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, there's a lot of love in this room, and I want to make sure that you understand, because that's what we're coming to this community with. When you see us up and down these streets, it's going to be about love, because we have to fix that which is broken. Now, I had to get up before I let Bishop Cox come. I've known Bishop Cox probably long years. God, don't say 40 years, bro. I'm still 27. Well, I look 27. I'm still 20. It's been a while. It's been a while. 1980. 1980, the National Office of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in this community needed a leader. And I don't know, I was ready. Well, if it was in 1980, I really must have been young if I'm still 27. But they asked me to take over the responsibility of chapter president in 1980. And I was only years old. And the first person that I would bring on, because what I did with SCLC at that time, SCLC was still meeting in a park. You remember that? They were meeting in Burkham Park. We took that organization and they had closed our great high school, Roosevelt. We opened up offices in Roosevelt as a way of taking Roosevelt back. We took an organization that didn't have a dime and made it a full-time organization. In fact, a year after I became president, we led what remains the longest civil rights march in the history of the state of Ohio. When we led a group, Bishop Cox and I. Yeah, I know I look younger than him though. But we led a group of our brothers and sisters up Route 4 from the city of Dayton to Columbus, Ohio. We walked 72 miles. because we had some problems with the laws coming out of Columbus, and God said that some of us needed to walk up to Pharaoh's house and let Pharaoh know it was time to let God's people go. So we walked 72 miles to talk to Pharaoh. But the first person that I brought on my staff when I became president was this preacher who had just come up from Mississippi. He was on a raft, that's where I found him, on the Ohio River. He had on a pair of corduroy pants, 92 degrees outside. Shrunk all the way up around his ankles, Brother Steve. But there was a fire.
That's right, that's right.
In the brother's eyes.
Yes.
And I said, this is the brother that when I'm ripping and running and going crazy, that I need to leave in charge when I'm gone. So Bishop Cox and I have been together for a long time. We ain't strangers. And I'm so glad that the brother is still in place, yes, doing what he needs to be doing. I'm glad that I'm able to introduce Brother Cox as now the new president of the SCLC. Brothers and sisters, put your hands together, Bishop Richard Cox.
Thank you. Tonight I'm not going to be long. Let me bring you greetings from the National SCLC in Atlanta, Georgia, where we have a state-of-the-art office building at 320 Auburn Avenue. And from our National Board Chair, Dr. Bernard Lafayette. And from the National Board, I am also not only just President of the Dayton chapter, but a National Board member for America's leading civil rights voice. We're still alive and well, and we're going to stay around as we do the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. every day. Let me pause and recognize my lovely, sweet, kind, adorable, fine, and beautiful wife.
Where's she at, Bishop?
And you know, Jerome, it's all right to be henpecked if the hen is yours.
Yeah, there you go, just on the hen.
Read my lips. Read my lips. You will not,
come on,
kill Dante Price.
Come on, brother.
In Montgomery County.
Come on.
Dayton, Ohio, and get away with it.
Come on.
We want justice. We're going to demand justice. Matt Heck, you're an elected official. We elected you. We want an indictment for murder. We want an indictment for a hate crime. And we will stand for nothing less.
That's right. That's right.
Sister Sabrina, have you heard from the commissioners?
Nope.
Have you heard from the city manager?
Nope.
I called to find out when the next city commission meeting was, and it was this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And the lady recognized my voice. And she said, Bishop Cox, we need a number for you. Now, mind you, we were just at the morning meeting to inform the commissioners about something they say they did not fully know what happened. They wanted time to do due diligence. They was going to get back with us. They have my number, but she said, we need a working number for you. Gave them a number. Hadn't heard from them. The next day I opened up the paper and they had this big community meeting. And they signed a pact, kind of like, you know, me and you friends, and we growing up and we're going to be packed for life. We cut ourselves and put our little fingers together and make a little pinky pact. That's what that was, a little pinky pact. It's not worth the paper it's written on. You get community leaders who couldn't stand up with this woman.
Come on, black man.
You get clergy people. And I got it right to say it because I have been preaching 51 years. I'm a retired pastor, and some folks are begging me to start a church. And you'll become as you are church. It'll be a nonviolent, direct action, militant church.
Come on.
If Jesus was here today,
Yes, sir.
he would be doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yes, he would.
Telling them crowds down there at City Hall that you are snakes and vipers.
That's right.
Hello. Tell them I said it. And I've signed the document 10 feet tall. Richard E. Cox. That's a lie what they put in the paper. Carlin English. They know that boy ain't jump off no bridge.
Right. Come on.
They know that. It's a lie that they put it in the paper. Talking about we gonna be nice and make sure that the police is monitoring our community and arresting gang members. You knew they was gang members before you called to me.
Yes.
You know what they was doing. Any fool can go on YouTube and tell you what the gangs is doing in Dayton, Ohio.
Right.
So you ain't doing nothing. They say, well, he speaks and he don't have all the facts together. I speak truth to power.
That's right.
That's what I'm doing. So it's a lie. I don't care who signed it. Clergymen, community leaders. Well, if you're so concerned about your community, why come you not helping Sabrina Riley when her son was murdered, executed, killed on the streets of Dayton, Ohio, tried to contact the police? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
We with you.
Right.
Now we're going to call another news conference. We're going to plan a march to the courthouse to let Matt Heck know we ain't playing.
Right.
If I have to walk this community and knock on doors, maybe I ought to just interrupt some church services. On
Right.
Come on, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Do we have to do that?
Yes,
I
we
can
do.
that.
Come
I have
on.
no problem with doing that.
I'm with you, brother.
Now, I'm also calling other SCLC chapter presidents. We can make a agenda out of this. I like to march. I like to rally. But I'm also like to be right. Come here, Sabrina. I'm going to sit down. This is about you. We've contacted Al Sharpton's office. I'm waiting on an answer. I'm trying to get Al Sharpton to come here and speak to us. I can get him. Don't think I can't get Brother Al. I can get him.
We done got him.
Okay? I'm also trying to contact Dick Gregory to bring him in here. We need to flood this community with national leadership. Now it's making its way. If y'all want to do something tonight, send this to CTM Booking at CBSNews.com. Send this to CNN/feedback. CNN.com/feedback. We're not going to stop till we make this national news because we getting ready to turn this city out. Our next demonstration is going to be at the courthouse, and then we're going to call for another rally. And if that doesn't work, we're going to put on our marching shoes, and we're going to march on City Hall. God bless you.
God bless you. And I already put on my shirt. That's me and my son when he was little. Me and Dante. And I got on here, I got justice for your son. Because I'm going to get justice for him.
That's
already
right.
That's right.
Sure are.
Thank you, Adam Project. Give Brother McCorry a hand. Thank you, sir.
Come in peace. I just want to start off by saying my name is Dante Price, the Black Legion. One thing I want to say, what you said about our community leaders, not really caring, sir. I commend you for speaking out on that because now I don't see no community leaders in here sitting down right now with us together.
That's right.
Also, I want to add, just take a look around the room. This is something that we need to change us as a people. This room should be packed right now. This room should be packed.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Open our mouths.
Come
Closed
on.
mouths don't get fed. That's what I was told.
That's right.
I also heard at the African Day Festival, I believe it was, if not last year, it was the year before, I heard a brother say, our community is like a donut.
Come on.
We got, the donut, the glaze, all of that juicy, Krispy Kreme glaze, all that we like.
Right.
And what's in the middle? Nothing. I'm sick and tired of our community being that hole in the middle of that donut.
Come on, brother.
I'm sick of the little petty things that we look at on the news out in the sweet areas, but nobody caring about what's going on, the severity of what's going on in that hole that they look at. I just want to leave that on y'all, and please think about that.
Yes, sir.
Now in a minute, we're getting ready to move this podium, and let me tell you what's getting ready to happen next. We're getting ready to hear from the people. You need to ask questions, and let me tell you what one of the questions needs to be. You know, there's a commercial about a guy who questions everything he comes in contact with until he goes to the doctor. And the doctor say, "You got any questions?" And the man sits there and looks totally lost.
Right.
And says, our community is in trouble. Our community is sick. We got to have some questions. And the truth is, we've got some answers to those questions. I, too, am tired. Every time something happens to an African-American male in this city, as well as in this country, first thing we want to figure out is whether or not they had a record.
Yes.
I'm so sick of it. Our people are starting to do it. Well, the army that God has given me, every man in it got a record.
That's right. Right. That's right.
I told y'all I deal with reentry. I deal with brothers that are either coming home from prison or we've been blessed to keep out of prison. Every one of them got a number. Guilty. And if we aren't salvageable, what then are we? And if we can't love each other, and if we can't find a place back home, then tell the city and tell the county to stop playing reentry. You tell us we can come home again, but you let your police department shoot us down like dogs.
Come on, brother.
The first thing we do is, did they have a record?
Exactly. Right. That's right.
Well, if you got caught in college with that reefer, you'd have a record too.
Amen. Right.
If you had gotten caught many times as you were speeding,
come on, brother,
you'd have a record too.
Amen.
The truth of the matter is that is not what determines the rightness or wrongness in a situation.
That's right. That's right.
It is not a record that those uneducated, unprepared, part-time security officers were shooting at in a vehicle. It was a man. And we must treat it as though they killed a man.
Right.
My brother, your brother. And if we don't stand up now, God, we are in big trouble, brothers and sisters. And so the Adam Project does stand with this family and with every family who's going through anything but to this degree. It is time now that we never have another Dante in this circumstance. It should never happen again.
Right.
I want Dante Price to be remembered as that was the brother where finally people said enough is enough and life started changing.
That's right.
That's all I'm asking for. You know, I was given a editorial. I'm going to read it and then move this out of the way so we can talk like family. It says the following editorial is a reprint of a letter whose author is yet unknown, sent in to a local newspaper. It's been circulating in the states of Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas for a number of months. Started to appear in the Omaha public schools and in the black community about 3 weeks ago. The editorial staff of the Metro Star felt that its content and availability should be shared with its readers, and so it was reprinted. And this is what it says. The Ku Klux Klan would like to take this time to salute and congratulate all gangbangers for the slaughter of over 4,000 black people since 1975. You're doing a marvelous job, and I can hear them as they say, you're doing a marvelous job. Keep killing each other for nothing. The streets are still not yours, N-word, it's ours. You're killing each other for our property. I told you the police get paid in one community to protect the man and in the other to protect the land. Come on. You are killing what could be future black doctors, lawyers, and businessmen that we don't have to compete with. And the good thing about it is you're killing them while they're young. So now we won't have to worry about you, N-word, in generations to come. We would further like to thank all of the judges who have ever sentenced those N-words to prison. You know, I guess they really hating us about now, Ms. Franklin. We keeping too many of them out. We're winning again. Pretty soon we'll be able to go back to raping your women because all you men will be dead. And so you gangbangers, keep up the good work. We love to read about the drive-by shootings. We love to hear how many N-words get killed over the weekend. We can tolerate the N-word with jungle fever for now because that further breaks down your own race, it says. To all gangbangers across the world, we don't love you N-words, but we can appreciate you gangbangers. You're doing a wonderful job eliminating the black race. Without the men, your women cannot reproduce, unless of course we do it for them. Then we will have successfully eliminated a race thanks to your help and commitment to killing one another. If most of you N-word gangbangers cannot read this letter, it's okay. Just go pull the trigger and kill another N-word. Now, that's what it says.
That's what they need.
That's what it says.
That's what
Let me tell you one of the reasons I appreciate the people you see at this table and many of the brothers that are in this room. Let me tell you why I appreciate it. There are a lot of things that happen in our lives that don't become public. Let me give you an example real quick, because I know the bishop goes through it. I know he goes through it. Let me give you a real quick example. During the Carlin English investigation, when that situation first happened, and we were as vocal and as involved as we were, I got a voice mail. I wasn't able to get to my phone, and I got a message. And the voice on the other end of the phone, and it really shook my wife up, but the voice on the other end of the phone said, even preachers can go off bridges. Now let me tell you something. I kept that to myself. Then for a long time I wouldn't play it for nobody because I don't want nobody to worry about me. February the 11th, I had a birthday. That's when I became 27. Okay. I had a birthday. On Facebook, my white brother didn't hide his identity. His pictures on Facebook. People were sending me Facebook messages on my wall, and I appreciate it. But this gentleman decided to send me another message. This is exactly what it said, and I had to show this to other people. It said, "Happy birthday, Coon. You're 1 year closer to your brutal death." And again it said, "Happy birthday, Coon." Now, I don't say that because you wear it like a badge of courage. I say that to say when you see the Coxes and the Tyrones and the Steve Muhammads and the Dominics and the Chewies, we get this stuff all the time. All the time. This is not a battle for people who are afraid.
Amen. Right. That's what I told people. Get away from me if you're afraid.
This,
I'm standing
you know,
for my son.
the national president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Charles Steele, used to have a saying. He used to say, "I will not hang out with scared Negroes."
That's right. That's right.
He said, "Because a scared Negro will get you killed."
Amen. I got so mad I was about to make get copies of the Willie Lynch letter to show people, like, he's in his grave, like, yes, it's working. My own people are afraid. Girl, you know you can get, they can kill you. Kill me, I don't care. I'm standing up for the truth. And if you're afraid, bye, thank you for your blessing, but move on. And sometimes people in your family won't stand by you. So ain't nobody tell me nothing about Bishop. I don't care. People, you be surprised at people that won't stand by you because they afraid, so can't nobody tell me. You know when they talk about him, I know he didn't put his life on the line for me.
Right.
And y'all putting y'all life on, but when you got scared people around you,
it ain't gonna work.
but you'll kill each other. But you're scared of the powers that be. I mean, you know, come on. You think it can't be your child? You think it can't be? I mean, come on. Please, I ain't always been a pediatric nurse. I ain't always lived my life in the community. He had white brothers and sisters. So this is not about a race thing. This is about what's right. But I'm going to call a spade a spade.
It's about you.
You know, and when you got your own people, oh girl, your life, I heard you. Bye, thank you, bless you, but get off my phone so I can wait on CNN to call, so I can get my son some national coverage. Because I'm not afraid to die for my son. I'd rather die standing up for my child that I know that was in the right. Like, I can't imagine what Mary went through seeing Jesus when she knew the truth. When he was done like that, I can't imagine. But I can now, because I know my son was in the truth. He was doing what he was supposed to do. So what Mary went through, I mean, come on.
That's right.
Come on. But like you said, there's some of your own people,
Come on, that's what hurts.
They heard some people, oh, Bishop Cox, you know he lost too. They sold out by piece.
That's right.
Bye.
Right.
And some of them I knew. I worked with it Stillwater. You done that? Cowards. I ain't selling out for nobody.
That's right. You know, somebody said to me the other day, your boy crazy.
He speak the truth.
And I knew who they were talking about. But sometimes it's good to act like you don't.
Right, that's right.
I said, what you talking about? Your boy Bishop Cox crazy. You know what I said? I said, he sure is. I said, Bishop Cox is about the craziest rascal I have seen in my life. And I told a funny story about him to let him know how I meant it. About Bishop Cox, you know, about his corduroy pants. And whatever was on that brother's mind, because I said it the way that I said it, he wouldn't even tell me what he was talking about. He just went on about his business because he knew if you ain't got some crazy folks in your community, you ain't gonna never get nothing done.
That's right.
Come on. That's right. I think the bishop said it best. Jesus himself couldn't pastor a church today. He had a record. Y'all know he went to jail.
Right. He did.
Peter.
That's right. Oh, he definitely could.
He might have been the chief disciple.
That's right.
But Peter said, I do know how to use a knife.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
He got a number.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was in Chillicothe or not. He got a number.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, when he came back,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on now.
he changed the lives
Yes,
of
sir.
people.
Man.
Paul couldn't pastor the church today. Now, he was a killer.
Right.
He was killing everybody until some things changed. And I say that to say, do not let anybody, and I'm talking about the media, I'm talking about the folk downtown, do not let anybody ever tell you when someone has a loss of life that it doesn't count because they had a record.
Right.
What the heck did that have to do with that brother sitting in his truck?
That's right.
I'm just tired. I'm just...
Brother, I know that.
Right.
Don't make no sense.
No, it don't.
That's right.
I'm just so tired. I'm tired, y'all.
Right.
I spend my life in this room right here.
Come on, brother.
Man, I tell men every day. I tell them every day you can come home again. You can get a job. You can get a business. You can make it.
Right.
And as soon as somebody take their life, we pull out a record to remind everybody about what they've been through and where they came from. Let me tell you something. I applaud now when they say he had a record.
Right.
And wasn't on it, nothing on it since 2008. I started shouting.
Right.
I said, thank God for victory. Because that says to me he was doing something right. They got to stop playing this
And he
game.
went back to church 3 weeks before.
Went back to church.
Went back. They said
He
you
was
raised him up
working
right,
from
they
what
go
I
back.
understand.
Yeah.
So brothers and sisters, there's a plan. Let's talk plan. Let's talk plan. It is my intention, if every letter of Bishop Cox gets thrown in the trash, because I believe in the power of redemption. Because of the population that I work with, I'm going to try to redeem some churches.
Right.
And I'm going to give them an opportunity because I don't want them to have the argument nobody ever asked.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I'm sending a letter
Yes, sir.
requesting to meet with both of the largest ministerial organizations in this city.
Yes, sir.
And that this sister be given audience
right.
to present her own case. That's number one.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, it is my intention, and I did contact CNN and ONN today. I like to do my homework, to let them know you are going to get some information. Because you ought to get a whole package of stuff to sit down and look at with your producers. Because I think it is necessary and it's important. But number three, let me tell you, in Florida, here's what they found out in Florida, and here's why that gentleman has not yet been arrested, Mr. Zimmerman. Because there's a stand your ground rule, law, that says if you felt threatened and were standing your ground, here's what it made me do. We need to start looking at Ohio's gun laws.
Right.
it's going to affect us.
Right.
But it's going to affect everybody. Because ain't no use in you saying that it's all right to have guns in one community and not in the other community. You can't turn around and pass a CCW law and say it's good for one community, but it ain't good for your community.
Right.
So what they do is they make sure that there's enough of us that have records that we can't pass the background check no how. So that way, whenever we have a gun, to them, it's illegal for us to have a gun.
Right.
But we rarely even stop to check them to see if they even have anything in their background, and rest assured many of them do. So we have some antiquated gun laws, and we have some new gun laws that have not done us justice. When you tell me it's okay for me to have a CCW permit and I can walk into the club with my gun on and get my party on, long as I ain't drinking, what you think I'm doing when you ain't looking at me?
Right.
You think I went to the club that sells the alcohol because I wasn't going to drink?
Right.
First of all, and I'm saying this lovingly, there's not enough of them that have natural rhythm that they can keep up on the dance floor unless they have a few drinks. You know I'm crazy, Bishop. So you know they drinking.
Right.
But it is by design. And so we have to look at the laws. Then we have to look at this. Training. What declares a person a private security officer? And what determines whether or not you need them in your complex and I don't need them in mine? Come on here. Because the job of security in my complex is to protect me. So who were they protecting when they killed Dante?